What God cannot do does not exist. What God truly cannot do does not exist. My name is Ogana Adiola Hassan. I am recording this from Las Vegas, Nevada. I joined the prayer altar, I want to say March of 2021. A friend of mine, shout out to you, Dupe, sent me the link. With that, and I and my husband trusting God for the fruit of the womb, God answered our prayers, and I was pregnant. And of course, the devil wasn't happy and decided once to give us the bad news regarding that. I received a call from my doctor telling me that, oh, the baby, there's some chromosomal defect, and the baby is not compatible with life, that I need to terminate the baby immediately. I laughed. I said, excuse me. You must be joking. So he kept on pushing and pushing and pushing, telling me I needed to terminate the baby. I was like, no, I'm not terminating the baby, because what God cannot do does not exist. You cannot tell me that God is blessed with a child and now you're telling me I have to terminate the baby. So trust me, I understood, because I'm a doctor and I understand where he was coming from. Don't get me wrong. But most times we think we're knowledgeable about everything, but there is someone that is the leader of being a doctor. The doctor of all doctors is who I serve, and is on the altar of fire. So he kept pushing me and telling me, okay, I need to terminate the baby. I don't want to take the baby to term. And then the baby leaves for a couple of hours and then dies. I'm like, my beacon is not dying. No one is dying. I'm going to have this baby, and this baby is going to be super healthy, because what God cannot do does not exist. And that's exactly around the time when the strange act of God just started. And there was a lady there that gave a testimony about, I think the doctor, she had a chromosomal 18, and she was interviewed throughout the whole process. And I told God, God, you've done it for her. So whatever chromosome this guy is talking about is none of my business. The fact that you've done it for her, you're going to do it for me. And I believe in you. I belong to the altar of fire. So you're going to do it. Every visit, the doctor is always pushing, saying, terminate this child, terminate this child. So I was like, you know what? I'm not. And he's like, you're stubborn. Because of that, if this baby comes out right and healthy, I will write a book about you. I was like, really? You're about to be an author, and you are going to give me credit, because this child that I carry is washed in the blood of Jesus, and what God cannot do does not exist. This child is going to come out perfect. Throughout my pregnancy, I did not even know anything about morning sickness, any issues, no complications whatsoever, except one day I started bleeding out of the blue. And I went back to God, and I said, God, the confession of this doctor will never come to pass. I will not lose this child. I joined the prayer of altar that night, and Pastor Jerry came online, and my word came. You were pregnant and you're bleeding.
You have been looking for a child. You got pregnant this morning. You woke up bleeding. You woke up bleeding. You are scared. If you want to give back your testimony, don't say the Lord, nothing has happened to your pregnancy. The Lord preserves your pregnancy right now.
From that day, the bleeding ceased. I never had any more bleeding. I never had any more issues whatsoever. When it was time for me to give birth to my baby, I walked into the hospital. I told God, I have labored. Now I'm about to go deliver. And that's exactly what happened. After 3 push, the baby was out. Perfect. When I say a perfect child, no complications. All his initial assessment, he was excellent. His applicant score was excellent. Everything was great. No problem. He was growing to the glory of God. He's growing with wisdom. He's growing with understanding. He's excellent. Perfect baby. So I was going to come give this testimony at the prayer conference in Houston. I flew down to Houston with my husband from Las Vegas so I can give the testimony on ground at the prayer conference. Of course, the devil was not happy. As that morning of the prayer conference, my husband stepped out. Next thing, I'm getting a call that he was in a car accident. I was like, excuse me? Went to the site of the accident. The car was totaled. Like there was like the whole airbag out. I was like, what happened? He walked out. Nothing. No injury. Nothing. You look at the car, you're like, God, you are wonderful. So I dragged my sister, my younger sister, my older sister, and my mom to the conference. And while we were on ground, as we were still on the at the prayer conference, Pastor Jerry was ministering. We received a call. same day, that my younger sister's husband with my two nephew, because she has two boys, my two nephew and the husband was in a major car accident. The whole car totaled. Same day. The same day that my husband had an accident in the morning, he had his own accident in the evening. Same day. Car totaled. He broke his leg. I said to devil, you're really, really trying. You're really, really trying. So I'm trying to give my testimony to the glory of God, and then you're doing everything to shut me up. Not gonna happen. We stayed, as long as everyone was fine, we stayed to Pastor Jerry finish ministering. So I'm here to give God all the glory. My son is doing perfect. He's running around. He has gone for all his medical checkups. He's excellent at all he's doing. My husband is great. My brother-in-law is doing great. God bless them with another beautiful, wonderful car. And there's multiple testimonies to the glory of God. Pastor Cherry, you have changed the dynamic of majority of our prayer lives. For us to believe that, you know what, there's nothing really impossible with God. Things come to me and I'll be like, what God cannot do does not exist. We move. That's my motto. We move. Because nothing is going to stop us. Nothing is impossible with God. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you all.